เขาใหญ่เนี่ยเราเรียกทริปนี้ว่าอะไรคะรู้ปะคะ
ทริปเขาใหญ่
ไม่ใช่มันเรียกว่า
เรียกว่าอะไรครับ
Knock Block Boys
If you don't know, now you know. Welcome back to hashtag J Podcast. And yes, we are going to get into Knock Knock Boys. Now, Knock Knock Boys just released this week episodes 1 and 2. And as I was getting ready to record this video, and I knew that two of the people on this cast looked very familiar to me. So it's so weird, but low key, I feel like this is the redemption cast. So Knock Knock Boys is a BL drama series, a Thai BL drama series that, from what I get from the first episode, is about 4 random dudes who move into this house, which is called the Knock Knock House. And all 4 of them move into the Knock Knock House for all different reasons. And they basically come together, and I love how they just come together organically, and they all to the luck of all things BL drama, they all get along for the most part so far. So the main characters are Peak, who's played by Bess. Now Bess played Daneo in Checkout, and everybody know Checkout was horrible, right? Then we have Thanwa, who's played by Singh, which Singh played in War of Y, which everybody know that was horrible as well too. We have Latte that's played by Johyun. I hope I'm saying his name right. So his previous series was not bad. Like the rating, he played in a series called Find Yourself, which I don't think is a BL drama series, but it aired the last year, so he's fresh. He's like freshly new. And he doesn't have not too bad rating for the series he appeared in. So he's good. And we have Almond, who's played by Nokia. And he played in, let's see, Thank God It's Friday and If I Love a Boy. And the ratings for those 2 series were not too good. So I haven't seen those series, so I'm not going to say they were bad. The first 2 being Bess and Sang, they're the redemption squad right there. All right. And it's so crazy that the redemption squad is the couple, the soon to be couple in this BL drama series. Right. So basically, all of these dudes move into the house. So let me give you a bit of their personalities. Right. So here in this pic, you see Latte and Almond. Now, Latte is the one with the brown hair. Now, Latte is the wild card out the group. Latte is pansexual, which for me, he's the first BL character to identify as pansexual. For the BL dramas that I've seen, he's the first one to identify for me that I've seen. But he's the wild card. He missed the party hardy. He don't know how to get nowhere on time, but he means well, and he's very helpful, and all around he's just so far a great person. Then we have here Almond. Now Almond is the adorable meek, and Almond is relatively sheltered. He comes from a rich background, but he's sheltered. Now, how he ended up at the Knock Knock house is he wanted to break free from his mother because his mother is very smothering and overbearing. Latte ended up at the Knock Knock house because he can't get to school on time. So he was suggested to find a place closer to the university so he don't fail. That's how Latte ended up at the Knock Knock house. Then we have Thanwa, who he appears at the Knock Knock house, but you later find out that Thanwa appears at the Knock Knock house because from the looks of it, it looked like his boyfriend cheated on him and he was leaving him or going through a breakup. Not really sure what the situation is. I'm assuming it's cheating because I'm messy. You know what I mean? And I like a little mess. But for better words, we can see that he goes through something with a guy that he's in a relationship with, which his name is Max. He basically look like they're breaking up and going their separate ways, and he just ups and leaves and move out without a note or a warning. So that's how he ends up at the knock knock house. Now Peak end up at the knock knock house because it seems like his girlfriend Jane, well, ex-girlfriend Jane, I'm assuming after he clearly left that girl. He left her, packed, sleeping at his office at first, and then packed all his things up while she wasn't there and left. But it seemed like Peak's ex-girlfriend Jane wanted more from him, and he didn't feel like he can give it to sis. All right. So that's the reasons how all four of them ended up at the knock knock house. Now, everybody's first night at the knock knock house was all a little bit different. Latte ended up at the knock knock house first. And with him at the knock knock house, Latte is just, he's partying and up. He's living his best life. He's doing him. Now, mind you, he's the only one in the house at this point. This is the first episode. Then later comes Danwa. And Vanwa comes into Latte sleeping in his room with the rest of his peoples that he's partying with, right? So later on comes Peak. Now, Peak appears when they're partying and doing what they're doing in the house. But I think it's the episode when they're kind of like partying in the house. And I'm not sure that Thanwa really joins them. And the reason why I'm saying that is Peak is trying to figure out who he kissed on the first night that he entered the knock knock house. Peak ended up at the knock knock house in the middle of the night and drunk, completely plastered. And when he walked into the house, he falls onto the couch onto somebody. He falls on the couch, and later on, you find out that he actually had a little makeout session with this person. So now Peak is kind of trying to figure out who he kissed the first night that he entered into the knock knock house. Now, Latte whole objective just seemed like he just want to have a good time, but actually make it to class on time. Almond and Latte are gonna have, which it appears to me that they're gonna have more of a best friend, more of a relationship than per se a couple relationship. I feel like they work well together in their friendship as far as Almond making sure Latte shows up to school in class on time, just showing up to be present on time and having his ish together. Whereas Latte opens Almond's eyes to the world. As far as letting loose, being free spirited and having fun, Latte is more well rounded and experienced in that aspect of life. And as far as forming relationships, as far as romantical relationships with other people, that is where he helps Almond. So they basically bounce off of each other. It would be cute if they are a couple, but I'm actually feeling them becoming best friends. The gentleman you see in this photo, his name is Jumper. Now this is truly, to me, my opinion, kind of like half of the reason why Almond ended up at the knock knock house. Almond's crush is Jumper, who you see here. And at the end of episode 1, basically Almond makes a deal with the other 3 roommates that they help him get his crush, and he pops his cherry with his crush. And at first they wasn't down with it. And then at a moment they thought he wanted them to pop their cherry. And he was like, oh no, baby. But come to find out, he shuffled up the deal a little bit, and he offered for whoever makes it possible for him to get with his crush and have his crush pop his cherry, that person gets 1 year of rent from him. And baby, after he offered that deal, Latte and Thanwa was all ears, and then later on Pete. Now the reason why Thanwa to a point is all ears is because Thanwa doesn't have a job, but I think Thanwa does some type of food reviews. He's like a foodie, so at the end of the day, he doesn't have steady income like how Peak do. Peak has a job; he has a 9 to 5, and it looks like him and Peak are the oldest ones in the house, and the younger ones is Latte and Almond, who are technically freshmen attending university. So they're young. Episode 2 is where you get them actively trying to help Almond get with Jumper. And in order to start the process of him getting with Jumper, they have to get a feel of who Jumper is. Now, it's so funny, all three of them actually run into Jumper. Latte runs into Jumper, as you see in this photo. Him and Almond is in the same faculty, which I think is human resources, and Jumper's in the same faculty as them. So for Latte, he has the benefit of them actually being in the same university and in the same faculty in the same class. Fanhua Fanhua meets Jumper in the process of him. If I'm not mistaken, he was reviewing a certain eating spot, and Jumper and his friend, I think his name is Sean. Yes, Jumper and his friend Sean appears, and they sit down, they eat, and they have a little convo. Then Peak runs into Jumper when he goes to the gym. And come to find out, Jumper attends the same gym as Peak, and eventually they become gym buddies, gym partners. Okay. Now, when Latte meets Jumper in the class, Jumper, when he leaves, he drops his wallet. And that's when Latte goes through the wallet and he takes a spa coupon out of Jumper's wallet, then return his wallet. And at that time, Latte seen it as an opportunity to where he can get to know Jumper outside of school, but also go to the spa for free. Because, little points, Latte ain't shit sometimes, but he's a good person. Now, the starting of his day in episode 2, Almond was warned by his mother to stay away from Aries men because they're promiscuous and they will mess up your life. Come to find out, Latte is the Aries. So now Almond is going through, should this mofo be helping me or is he going to be my downfall? And basically, it ends with them sharing their facts on what they got in their interactions with Jumper and how to proceed moving forward. And basically reassuring Almond that he's going to get with his crush and pop his cherry. But throughout episode 2, you realize that Fanhua got a thing for Pete. And there's some potential sparks that are striking. And I think to me that Pete is noticing that Fanhua is giving him that look, that look. But to me, I don't understand why Pete does not notice that Fanhua is the person that he kissed. And it's so crazy to me as you watch this BL drama series, how these guys basically come together and are able to work together so flawlessly. The chemistry is on point so far for the 2 episodes, especially with Latte being the wild card. Latte is like that dose of bubbly and happy that you kind of need. When it comes to Fanhua and Peak's potential love story, I'm actually quite interested on how they're going to come together because at the end of the day, Peak's character is a straight male. When they played a Never Have I Ever, or something to that effect, if I can remember, this is when Almond moved into the house, so they collectively, like, basically celebrated his first day into the house. The only 2 people who had relations with another man was Fanhua and Latte. And I told you that's being that Latte is the open pansexual one in the house. And I think Fanhua is the gay gentleman in the house. So we have Peak, who's basically in a state where he's confused sexually, and I'm very interested on how this is going to go because this is like a transformation from a straight character to, I'm not going to say he's gay. I would say he's, at this point he's bi-curious because you can see that he thinks of having kissy time moments with a few roommates. And Latte being one, because I think in his mind, he's for sure thinking that Latte is the one that he kissed his first night. And I think it's because Latte is so free spirited and so promiscuous. But I think how Latte is so outspoken, if Latte kissed Pete, he kind of would have told him. But he said some things that really made you know that it wasn't Latte. Latte's like, even though he's pansexual, he's very, selective on who he do things with. He just don't do it with anybody. Also, Latte shares that he was busy getting body to body with two other people that he invited to the house to party with them. So you can see that, to me, Thanwa is the person that Pete kissed, because at that point in time, Almond wasn't in the house yet. So it would only have to be either Latte or Thanwa or someone they had in the house during the time of the party, which would be someone that was with Latte. And I doubt that. So the full circle of him and Thanwa getting together, I'm pretty interested on Pete's journey figuring out his sexuality. I'm really looking forward to how they depict that in this series. But if you are not checking out Knock Knock Boys, I would tell you to go check it out. It's a good series so far. You will not be disappointed so far. So far, we're liking it. We don't have anything really relatively bad to say about it. So far, it's good. Because with these two, I'm definitely calling this hashtag redemption squad right here with them two. Because these two are really doing their thing, and I know it's not really their fault. It's like it's the scripts that was given to them. So I'm so happy they look like they're in a series that can really show their acting skills, and we can really get a full on view of how these two really perform in a series. Because to me, they were robbed, but here they're being redeemed, and so far they given. I'm not complaining so far. So far, I'm into it. I'm all ears, and I'm looking forward to episode 3. And if you guys are not checking it out, I tell you, go check out Knock Knock Boys. And you guys already know, if you like, love, and enjoy our amazing videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to know when we upload new videos. Also, guys, don't forget to be you, be amazing, and most importantly, be safe in these crazy streets. Laters, beautiful BL Bay.
I can't help my heart, even though our time is short. There's always this piece of me that's yours always. Even though our time is short, there's always this piece of me that's yours.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't